Hi class, Dr. Keiter here. I want to take a few moments to review the general layout of the electronic classroom to help you navigate as we go through the next 8 weeks. First, we're looking here at the home page, and on the left-hand side there's a box containing general information about the course as a whole. This is a one-time read, so just take a moment, read through it, acquaint yourself with the expectations for the semester. Next, I want to bring your attention to the announcements area to the right side of the home page. This is an important area that I'll typically post announcements once, twice, maybe 3 times a week with important updates, clarifications, some potential changes to the weekly assignments, etc. So keep an eye on the announcements, log in multiple times throughout the week so you can make sure that you're updated and abreast of any issues going on with the course on a weekly basis. Another area that I will continually reach out to you via is going to be the messages. And there's a box just above the announcements section here called Messages and Forums Notifications, which will list any new messages posted or new forums posted. We'll talk more about these in a moment. But the messages section, like I stated, will give you a general overview of anything that is currently in your inbox right here, and the actual messages link in the menu bar to the left is right here. Let me talk about that just for one brief moment. The messages area inside the classroom is going to be the area where we do all of our communication with one another. Anytime you need to reach out to me with any questions or concerns, please make sure you use the messages link inside the classroom rather than emailing me through my APUS email address, which I'll show you momentarily. That should only be used in cases of emergencies where you have no connection to the classroom or after the class ends. So, like I said, any messages between you and your classmates or with me, your instructor, please make sure you do so through this messages link. And again, I'll be posting at least once, twice weekly messages, so check those out for any updates and information that may be useful to the success in completing the course. Next, let's go to the syllabus area. And this is going to be very vital to the success of the completion of this course. Again, here is that email address I told you about. That is my personal APUS address that should only be used when the class is ended or in dire emergencies. Otherwise, please use, as I stated, the messages link for any communication with me throughout the next 8 weeks. But I want to bring your attention down here to the SCIN132 syllabus, which is uploaded in a Word document. I advise that you print it out and save it to your desktop. If for any reason you can't log into the classroom, the syllabus will contain all of the policies and procedures for the syllabus, or excuse me, for the school and for the course itself. It'll also have a list of all your assignments with a course outline, including weeks everything is due. So it's a good general overview of what to expect for the semester, and it contains contact information should you need to get in touch with the school if you can't log into the internet for whatever reason. Please click on the lessons link, as this is going to be a very important area that you're going to tend to on a weekly basis. In this first week, we're going to have 3 sections to read through. Otherwise, thereafter, we're going to have 1 weekly lesson assigned. So, like I said, the first week we have 3 sections. The first 2 are going to give you a general overview of what to expect this semester, and it's also going to give you all the reference materials for your course materials that you need for the next 8 weeks, to include your lab materials as well as your text materials and information about those items. So read through these please first, and then we're going to get to the most important part. This is going to be your first week's lesson, and each week hereafter you're going to have a weekly assigned lesson that's going to be formatted and structured in just the same way, and I'd like to take a moment to go over all those specific areas of the weekly lessons. First and foremost, you're going to be introduced to the general information covered for the week in a lesson overview. And read through that. It'll give you a general idea of where we're going for the week and what's going to be covered, and learning objectives that should be met by the end of the week. Next, the reading and resources area is going to contain all the information you need about what reading materials are assigned from your course textbook, and it's also going to give you some ancillary supplemental tools to include some extra videos for viewing that may help help you hone in on some specific concepts that are presented that week. And many of us are visual learners, I know I am, so videos and animations are really great sources of effective learning. So I recommend you check those out. In addition, there are chapter outlines that will go over the general foundational materials that were covered in the reading from your textbook. These are good study guides to assist you in preparing for your weekly quizzes. Next, we're going to look at the lesson. This is going to be a 3 to 4 paragraph area of written material that's going to explain further some important concepts presented in your reading. So definitely read over those each and every week. Next, the lab portion. As you're aware, the SCIN132 course does have an accompanied lab. This particular area of the lesson under lab is going to give you all the links to the virtual simulations that you will perform each and every week for each assigned lab, and it's going to give you links to the lab worksheets that you will complete. Mind you, you will not be submitting the lab worksheets for grading in their completed form in the assignments area. However, each week on the lab you will be requested to submit one portion, one activity of the many you do for each lab to your quiz. So make sure that you read through all the instructions and you're aware that you need to complete the actual lab simulations and their worksheets, because you will submit a portion of your lab worksheet each week on the quizzes. In addition, you need to be able to do the worksheets and simulations to gain the knowledge from those lab simulations to help you with the questions on the quiz that will be asked of you covering these particular aspects of the labs. So you are doing them to help prepare you for the quizzes. In addition, you will be submitting a portion of the lab worksheet for grading each week via the quizzes. Forums. Each week we're going to be having a discussion forum. These are great areas for us to connect with one another, share information, and I really want you to utilize these to the fullest. This very first week, your virtual introduction forum is due Sunday. However, on subsequent weeks, your initial post will always be due the Wednesday of the assigned week. Any follow-up post will be Sunday. This will allow us time to get some good conversation in throughout the week. Also, assignments, tests, and quizzes will be due on Sundays of the assigned week. This particular area for each week's lesson is going to give you all the information you need to prepare for the assignments and quizzes that are going to be assigned throughout the next 8 weeks. This area will give you specifics on where to access these assignments and quizzes, how to complete them, and where to submit them. They will typically guide you to the assignments link for further instruction on how to complete the assignments that are assigned each week, and the tests and quizzes link where you'll see your quizzes posted when they are assigned. And lastly, we have a lesson review. This is going to give you a general overview of what we learned for the week, what we should have learned, and where we're going in the following week. So once again, this entire weekly lesson, you'll get one of these each week with the same structural components that we just went over. You should read through this at the beginning of the week before you tackle any of your assignments or quizzes, as this is going to give you all the knowledge on how to complete these assignments and all the knowledge that you will need to be able to successfully complete them at that. Keep in mind the forums, the first initial post for week 1 is due Sunday. However, all subsequent forum posts, your initial post will be due on Wednesday. All reply posts will be due on Sunday. And as I mentioned, all tests and quizzes and other assignments thereafter will be due on Sundays of the assigned week. Let's go up to the forums link here. Notice that we have an open forum section with 2 topics, a question and answer section, which I highly encourage you to use if you have any questions that aren't of a personal nature and that may apply to other students' concerns. Post them for me here and I'll be checking them regularly throughout the week and leaving you answers should you have any questions for me. Some of you have questions that the other students may have, so this is a great way to share that information with others who may be struggling with the same concept. Also, open forum area, this is for you guys to use. It's an area to bring up topics of discussion about the class itself or any topics in anatomy and physiology you find interesting and want to share. The following form areas that are posted are going to be those that are graded and assigned weekly. The first week we have a general introduction forum. This is going to be the area where I want to get to know you guys and for you guys to get to know each other. So please tell us about yourself. Go in there and start chit-chatting with one another. Let's get to know one another and prepare for the next 8 weeks that we'll be sharing. On the gradebook link to the far left menu, this is going to be an area that's going to be of utmost concern for all of you, I'm sure. This is going to be where your grades are going to be posted and feedback listed. So each week you'll see here a category show up like the week 1 form or week 1 quiz. You're going to have a score assigned, and over here you'll have feedback. When you click on this particular item that is listed in the gradebook, comments will show up that I leave for you. Please take your time each and every week to review these comments, as they're going to be vital feedback that can help you improve upon any concepts or points that I may bring up to your attention. That's how we do our best learning, so definitely read over those, and if you have any questions or want clarification, always reach out to me through the messages link, as I am more than happy to discuss anything, and I'm eager to help you in any way that I can. Also, grades. You should be most concerned about this one right here, the current grade, as this is going to give you the grade you have to date based on the work completed. The one below here called your final grade, that is going to give you the percent grade that you would have if you completed no more work beyond that point. So it's going to factor in all your future assignments and give you 0 credit for those. But you haven't completed them yet, so that's why I say pay attention to your current grade, as that's going to give you the most accurate and up-to-date value of your grade to date. And again, any questions about your grading or comments, feedback, etc., use the messages link over here on the menu bar, and I'll be glad to assist you in any way that I can. That wraps up the class tour. I hope it was helpful, and please make sure that you take your time to review all those sections we discussed, and if you have any questions, please reach out to me. In the meantime, let's get anatomy and physiology underway, and I hope you guys enjoy yourselves.